Hi guys, welcome back to the Camper Dan Files. My name is Chris. In today's video, we're going to be changing the engine oil on the Pathfinder. I already have an oil filter and some oil laying about, but I still need an additional few quarts of oil. So I'm going to be running to Walmart after I drop off this care package at the post office and to get our oil changed. Alright, so we're going to take Camper Dan for a spin here to get that oil warmed up so it'll drain better. Don't forget the rev match, guys. So a few things. Whenever I'm changing the oil, whether it be on my truck, on my car, usually what I like to do prior to draining the oil out of the crankcase or oil pan, what I like to do is come and uncap the oil fill cap and slightly remove our oil dipstick. This will ensure that the oil is able to flow as freely as possible, so that way you can maximize the amount of old or dirty oil that you're removing from your engine. Now we're going to go ahead and go down below and get our oil drain plug removed. For your oil drain plug, you'll need a 14mm socket or a wrench like what I'm using. I usually use a socket, but today I felt like using a wrench seems a little bit easier, get better leverage, and less likely to strip things out that way. So you're going to want to position your oil drain pan in a way that also compensates for the natural arc. Now you want to go ahead and turn the drain bolt until it skips over on itself. And you do this because this will help to control things as it's coming out. So that way it's not going everywhere, like so. And we'll just go ahead and let that guy drain. And you may also need to pull it back just a little bit. There we are. And most Nissans do come with a crush washer or sleeve that's on your drain bolt. You would need to change that. I've seen some people reuse them. I'm gonna be honest, I reused them once in the past, and it worked well. But they're cheap. They're usually only a few cents at the dealership. You can order them online. But this helps to lessen the likelihood of one over torquing their drain bolt, which is an absolute no-no. You know, you don't want it loose, but you don't want it He-Man tight either, because you'll strip things out and then you'll have bigger issues. So make sure you change this guy. Ah, there you are. So here is the crush sleeves. I have 3 of them left. After this oil change, I'll have 2. Here's the part number. Come in a quantity of 10. I believe the last time I bought a set of these, I got them for just under $3. Again, not very expensive. It keeps you from making expensive mistakes. So do change them. If you're one of those people that don't change them and you haven't had any problems, that's good. But you know how the old saying goes, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So Nissan puts it on there from the factory. Should be putting it on there yourself when you do your oil changes. Here's the old crush sleeve or crush washer. Try and get that in focus for you there. That is what it looks like. Again, this one isn't in bad shape, but I'm not reusing it because again, they're cheap. So what you want to do when you put the new one on, let me just put this down for a second. When you put the new one on, that side right there needs to be facing towards the oil pan, and the other side here, the flat side, needs to be facing the actual base of the drain bolt, like this. Put it on and just spin it. It'll go right down the threads. Just like that. And now your drain bolt is ready to be reinserted. All right, so now that our oil is all finished and nicely drained, I'm gonna go ahead and reinsert our drain plug or bolt. And again, you don't want to over tighten this. You want it tight, but you don't want it He-Man tight, because remember, some point you will have to do this again. So do not make it He-Man tight. If you do, you'll be sorry. Just want to make it snug. I also like to do a visual inspection to make sure that the crush washer has expanded. If you're able to do that, that helps because it lets you know for sure that things are seated quite nicely. There. And then we'll just come in with our shop rag, clean things up a little bit. So I'm gonna take this guy out. But again, they're not all OEM size. There's one on the front that's a 13. But if your splash guard here is still intact and you got all your original parts, should be 10. Yeah, these bolts are all 10 millimeters, except for one. But there might be more that's mixed match. as that was how I purchased the truck. So here I'm definitely gonna have to switch gears. I'm gonna have to get my ratchet because this guy is recessed here on the driver's side. So we lucked up. This too just happened to be a 10 mil. Let me go ahead and get this loose. It wasn't really tight anyway. Now we got our splash shield out of the way. Now we have access to our oil filter. Let's get our receptacle in place. So another thing, I really do like this little channel here. That helps to further minimize the spillage, if you will. So we'll now reach up and we'll just turn that guy. And there comes our oil and filter. Nice. All right, so we'll let that drain for a little. And while it's doing so, we're gonna go ahead and get our new oil filter ready. I'm just gonna take a little bit of our new engine oil and lightly lubricate the gasket here on our oil filter, like so. We're gonna go ahead and get our filter housing cleaned up. Just come in with our rag, and what we want to do is just wipe the mating surface, make sure that there's nothing there. It's gonna interfere with our gasket sealed correctly. You want to get this on by hand. Take your time so we don't cross thread things. You're gonna take a shop rag or napkin or whatever you have, clean off any excess oil residue. Also the same for our little drain channel here. And of course, we also need to make sure we're recycling our oil. I decided to go with a high mileage full synthetic 5W30. Conventional oil is okay too, but I like the synthetic stuff because it helps. In this case, we're not going to be measuring anything because we know the engine takes 5.3 quarts. So I'm going to dump this whole jug in here. And then I have another, and I'm going to use that to work my way up to our fill line. So our oil in this case, if you guys can see it there, a little blip right there to just to the left of that H. That's our high mark, and that's our fill mark. So it turns out we don't actually need to put any oil in here right now, but I am gonna check it again this weekend before I head out. I'm gonna go on a camping trip this weekend. So I'll check it again just to make sure everything is in range. All right guys, so there it is, an oil change on your R50 Pathfinder. Pretty straightforward. I mean, nothing overly complex. It's pretty much the same as just about any vehicle out there. And found this video helpful, and if so, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Again, my name is Chris, and thanks for stopping by the Camper Dan Files.